Gorilla.
Oh, look, the little one.
Gorilla.
Mum tends to teach them independence early because she was on her mum's back within 3 weeks of age. That's really nice.
How old is the other little guy over there?
The second smallest, that's London, is about 2.
Where's it?
They'll still stick pretty close to their mums until about 4 or 5. They'll start to wander more and play with each other at that age.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to Taronga Zoo and especially to our gorilla exhibit. My name is Tracy and I'm one of the lucky keepers who gets to work with this family of gorillas that you see in front of you. Now, these gorillas you see in front of you are actually western lowland gorillas. There are 4 different species of gorillas. We have the western lowland, the eastern lowland. There's also the cross river gorilla, which is very, very shy and it's hardly ever seen in the wild. And then we also have the mountain gorilla, which has much longer hair. And it's the mountain gorilla that you all may be most familiar with. That's through the studies of Diane Fossey and the movie that was made about her life, Gorillas in the Mist. Now, all 4 subspecies are endangered, and they all come from around Central or West Africa. Now, what you see here today, this family grouping, is typically what you would find in a wild situation. So, the adult male silverback leads his group of adult females, and their male and female offspring. Now, I'll start off this afternoon by trying to introduce you all to our family group here at Taronga. And I'll start with our silverback. I'm sure you can all pick him out. His name is Cavalli. And Cavalli is 19 years of age at the moment, and he weighs in at around 200 kilos. So he's a pretty big boy. You can see him walking forward there. And of course you can see they are called silverbacks because of the lovely silver colouring on their back, on their thighs, which they do start to develop around about 12 or 13 years of age, and they will keep growing and growing and growing until they're around 19 or 20 years of age, and they will finally stop growing. But going through from that blackback age of around 10 or 11 right to silverback, that's when they will start developing that lovely silver colouring. And they're sagittal crest, so they elongate, so that you can see their head gets quite long as well. Now, as well as Cavalli in the group, we do have 3 adult females in the group. So directly in front of me on this platform is our oldest female. Her name is Frala, and she's 38 years of age at the moment. And she is the mother of our youngest infant in the group, is Fakiri, and she is actually 6 weeks of age, so she's very, very new. Frala's actually got her back to us at the moment, but she does often put Fakiri on her back, which is quite young. Normally they probably won't go on until about 3 or 4 months, but every gorilla does have their own mothering style. Now, Fakiri, the pregnancy for a gorilla is around about 8.5 months, the gestation, so just a little shorter than humans. And the female gorilla will usually have a baby around once every 4 years or so. Now, Fakiri also does have a big brother in this group, Babumi. Actually, I think that's him sitting up the top there on that platform, just in front of Cavalli, our silverback. We also have a couple of other adult females. We have Johari, who's just in front of us here, just to the right-hand side, which is just walking up the back. And then we also have Mbali, and she's at a dipping pot there. You can see she's eating away. We have made, for enrichment, there is a dipping pot up the back. So we put all lots of different things in there, and they've got to work out tools how to get the yummy things out. And she's quite adept at doing this. So she's there at the moment, and I think her 18-month-old infant is with her, little Mwamba. And Mbali is actually 17 years of age. And she was actually born here at Taronga Zoo. So I had the privilege of being here when she was born. and she spent quite a bit of her life here. She did go to Melbourne for a while, but she's recently returned to Taronga to become a part of our worldwide breeding program here at the zoo. Now, as you can see, little Fakiri's head poking out there behind Frala, the mum. If you can see her little head poking out. As I was saying about Kibali, our silverback, he's actually very, very protective. Now, it's his job as the silverback to protect the group, to lead them, and also to dissolve any conflict that may occur in the group. Now, gorillas are actually very, very quiet and peaceful animals. A lot of people think that gorillas are very fierce and very aggressive, but it's very, very untrue. As you can see here today, they're very quiet, they're very peaceful, they spend most of the day sleeping the day away, foraging for food, generally just playing with one another. It's not very often that we do have fights within the gorilla community. If we do, Kibali will sort it out very quickly. Sometimes all he has to do is cast a steely glare at whoever's in the role and it will stop. But if it does require him to intervene, he will just avoid moving to the role with a slap on the back or a bite on the back or just whatever he deems necessary. Now, you will have noticed before we put the gorillas on display here this afternoon, we did take them off for around about 10 minutes or so, and that was so we could put all their food out right across the exhibit. Now, unlike their chimpanzee cousins, gorillas actually won't share their food. So chimpanzees will share food with other members of their family, but gorillas don't actually do this. So it is really important that we get all the food right across the exhibit, so every gorilla does get a really good chance to get some food. Otherwise, Kibali would get the whole lot and stockpile it all, and no one else would get any. So we do feel it's very important to get every animal a chance of getting fair amounts of food. So gorillas are actually strictly vegetarian. You'll again, unlike their chimpanzee cousins, you'll never find gorillas eating any kind of meat at all. Just strictly vegetarian diet, and depending on where they're geographically located in Africa, they may also eat some fruits as well. But where they live, their habitat is just like one giant salad bowl. So they eat lots of berries, lots of leaves, branches, bark. And then they also eat a few insects. But you can see with our gorillas there, you can see she's just grabbed a whole heap of browse. And that browse material that she has up there is native hibiscus. And we do give them a lot of this browse material, as it's what they do predominantly eat in the wild. So they will get a lot of this browse material. Things like fig is one of their favourites, ginger, hibiscus, Cotoneaster, celtus, lots of different branches. And not only do they enjoy eating all the leaves off this browse, but they also spend hours gnawing away at the bark. So they really love the bark material of all the plants as well. So you can see also what we've given the gorillas here today is mainly lots of green leafy vegetables. So things like endive, chicory, lettuce is one of their favourites. They'll also get some cauliflower, maybe some broccoli, sometimes some pumpkin, capsicums are one of their favourites as well, some carrots. Just generally lots of vegetables is predominantly feed the gorillas. Now you will have noticed there's a moat right across the front and a waterfall at the back of this exhibit, and it was thought for a very long time that gorillas actually hate water, but field studies in the wild have shown us that gorillas will actually come right down to the shallows of the moat, and into the water, and feed on their favourite water plants in the wild. So they're happy to go in the wild into the water to reach their favourite water plants. Now here at Taronga, we've noticed the 3 and 4 year olds. They're happy, the young ones, to come down to the shallows of the moat, especially in the summer. They love to come down to the moat and splash around to try and keep nice and cool. But the adults generally do stay away. Now we used to have a gorilla, Anguka, who is actually not here anymore. She's at a and a zoo overseas. She used to love to come down to the shallows of the moat with her food, and she used to like to wash all her food before she ate it. So they all do have their own little individual quirks. Now, if you can see Kamali over there, we have these mesh cubes out on exhibit. As a zookeeper, one of our most important jobs is to try and keep the animals enriched, their lives enriched. So one of the ways to do that is put out lots of enrichment items. So you can see we have some steel cubes, and we have a ball in there which has got some yummy stuff inside, and there's also lots of leaves in there. So gorillas will spend a long time trying to get out all the goodies inside that ball. So it does keep them occupied for a very long time. Now, as I said at the start, unfortunately, gorillas are becoming quite endangered in the wild. Their environment is under threat from logging and war and also farming. And the gorillas themselves are under threat from the bushmeat trade and also the pet trade. Now, for a baby gorilla to be taken from its family, sometimes as many as 7 or 8 gorillas may be killed in the process, trying to protect this baby gorilla. And unfortunately, this is still happening today. There's quite a few things that we can do. Many people always ask in Australia, what can we do to try and help the gorillas in the wild? And one thing we have going at the moment at Taronga is a campaign called We're Calling on You. Now, I'm sure everyone here does have a mobile phone. Now, unfortunately, all our mobile phones contain a mineral or a called coltan. And coltan is mined not only in the habitat of the gorillas, but also 9 other primate species across Africa. So, what we're doing here at Taronga is we're recycling mobile phones. So we have a massive big perspex box at the front entrance. So if you do have any mobile phones at home sitting in your drawer, please bring them in and we will recycle them. And that way we're recycling the coltan and reducing the amount of coltan that is needed to be mined in Africa. Now guys, I will end my talk there for this afternoon. If anyone does have any questions, please feel free to come up and ask. I'll be hanging around here for a few minutes, but it looks like little Fabumi and MJ and Mwamba are providing a lot of entertainment for everyone, running around and wrestling and trying to steal food. So please enjoy watching the gorillas here and the rest of your day at